Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Oh, today you've got a really good one in store for you. Oh, lucky you guys. I'm going to be ranking the Robert Pollard solo albums. The Guided by Voices frontman, best known as a fourth grade school teacher up until like the band's sixth album. Dayton, Ohio's finest. The pride of Dayton, Ohio, that's for sure. And we're going to be ranking all 22 of his solo albums, plus one that's technically called an EP, but it is as long as some of his albums, and then two other albums that are not technically Robert Pollard solo albums, but fit the bill for me. You know which ones they are as we get into it a little bit. Anyway, we're not going to waste any time here, man. At number 25, something's got to be at the bottom, and it's definitely this one. It's Superman Was a Rocker. This came out in 2008, but all these tracks date all the way back to the 80s and stuff. It's just a bunch of the things that Pollard had, lying around that he never finished, and then he put some lyrics to it. It's just not great, but it does have the song "You Drove the Snake Crazy" on there, so that's all right. At number 24, we talked about an EP that made the list. It's Motel of Fools. Yeah, technically an EP, technically not an album. This came out in 2003. But, it's 31 minutes long, and it's, Elephant Jokes is 31 minutes or 32 minutes, so it's, whatever. Couple real good songs on here. Red Ink Superman, Harrison Adams. This is primarily Robert Pollard, Jim McPherson, and Johnny Strange on this record. Pretty cool artwork, but this is the bottom of the rung here. You don't get the best stuff until you get into the top 15, I think. But here we go at number 23. Oh, yeah, it's We All Got Out of the Army. This came out in 2010. It's an album that came out during this real prolific run for Robert Pollard. Maybe he was putting out too many albums at one time, because honestly, there's only two songs I really, really like on here, Silk Roader and Your Rate Will Never Go Up. Those two songs are good. Kind of caught in the middle of two really, really good albums, which Elephant Jokes and Moses on a Snail. But there we go. That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's number 23. At number 22, it's Space City Kicks. I guess Robert Pollard on this one just took like a whole bunch of classic rock song titles and mixed them up and came up with this right here. And there's some cool tracks on here, but the other stuff is mediocre. I really like Touch Me in the Right Place at the Right Time. That song's amazing. Something Strawberry's cool. But not his best work. Anyway, we're moving up to that at number 21, boys and girls. Oh, it's Lord of the Birdcage. Technically, the 16th album. This came out right after Space City Kicks. Couple songs on here that I really like, and kind of when I'm ranking this, I'm just looking like, if I'm doing a greatest hits CD or whatever, how many songs would I be taking off of each record? That's a good indicator for me. And I've got 4 on here I really like. In a Circle is fantastic, 10 out of a 10 track. Smash Middle Finger opens this thing up. Duns Codex is cool, and Garden Smarm. So those are the cool tracks, but just getting a little too prolific there. Guided by Voices was on hiatus for a while, and he was just cranking out a whole slew of solo albums with Todd Tobias. Probably too many of them. Speaking of it, the follow-up to Lord of the Birdcage is MMan Cloud, the 17th album. This was 2012. Some really good tracks, but it seems like it's pretty well front-loaded. Obvious number 1, Picnic Drums. The title track is really cool. Smacks of Euphoria is good, but, just like the album cover, a little monochromatic, which is kind of the rap against Tobias's production and, the albums that he and Pollard were cranking out, because those records, it was basically just those two dudes, Todd doing everything and Robert singing and writing the songs. Anyway, at number 19, it's Standard Gargoyle Decision. Yeah, this is a record that came out the same exact day as Coast to Coast Carpet of Love. Kind of a weird thing to do, but they decided to do it like that. This one here was the scarier or more, experimental. Coast to Coast, Carpet of Love was more of the pop side. Some really good songs. Again, very front loaded here. The Killers, Pill Gone Girl, Psycho Inertia, and my favorite on this album, Butcher Man. It's getting pretty good here. But here we go. At number 18, I didn't do this ranking for a long time because I was waiting on one Pollard album I didn't have. I finally got a hold of it. It's Fiction Man, and I probably paid way too much for this, but I love this record. Came out in 2004. Technically his fourth solo album and his first for Merge. He did like 3 or 4 for Merge, I think. This was the first solo album produced by Tobias, although he had done a couple Guided by Voices albums before then. I think Universal Truths and Cycles and Earthquake Glue both came out before this. I think he did those. Louis Armstrong of Rock and Roll, Conspiracy of Owls, It's Only Natural, Dynamite, really cool. Yeah, at number 17, it's, what is it going to be? From 2013, it's Blazing Gentleman. Again, he's really uber prolific at this point, but he's kind of slowing down because the reunion thing's happening, and he's starting to do some things with his old bandmates. But this is technically the 20th Robert Pollard solo album. Like I said, he's got 22 technically, although we're ranking 25 records here today. This has the unfortunate fact that it came out between Honey Locust, Honky Tonk, and Faulty Superheroes. 2 really good albums. This has got some good stuff on here though. A Return of the Drums. What is it? My Museum Needs an Elevator. Those are cool tracks. Tonight's the Rodeo. Faking the Boy Scouts. Okay, there you go. It's Blazing Gentleman at number 17. At number 16, the final solo album, because Pollard's been cranking out so many records as Guided by Voices of late. He's not doing any solo albums, so this is 2016's Of Course You Are, and it's the first Robert Pollard record not to have the Todd Tobias production and all that. His running mate here is Nick Mitchell, who had been part of Guided by Voices for a little while, and he was part of that Rick and Wiki thing that put out 2 records, 2 really good records, and I guess he and Pollard had a falling out, and that kind of cleared the way for Doug Gillard to sneak back in the band. But we've got a couple really cool records with Pollard and Nick Mitchell. My Daughter, Yes She Knows, is on here, really good. Promo Brunette, Collision Daycare. Yeah, there's Bob looking a little like B. Arthur there. That's at number 16. At number 15, we talked about its companion that were released on the same day on Merge. It's the Coast to Coast Carpet of Love. Came out in 2007, right? And this was the more pop side of Pollard's 4 Ps, if you will. Rudfins, Our Gaze, 2 great songs. Slow Hamilton, I Clap for Strangers. Nice little record. I like it. That's number 15. At number 14, okay, now we're getting into some different kinds of solo albums. This is The Crawling Distance at number 14 from 2009, and Pollard's doing something a little bit different here. He's doing some longer running times. There's only 10 songs on this thing, and that means the running times are like, the songs, like most of them are 4 minutes long. Oh my god, it's crazy. Similar to its predecessor, Robert Pollard's Off the Business, which I like just a little bit better, but we're going to talk about that one in a minute. Faking My Harlequin, though. One of my favorite Pollard tracks on here. I think it leads it off. Yeah, it's the first song on here. Cave Zone, Imaginary Queen Anne. Good record. Absolutely. At number 13, from 2015, it's Faulty Superheroes. Oh, I really dig this one. This was the last of the Todd Tobias produced Pollard records, and went out with a bang, because this one's dynamite. Cafe of Elimination, Take Me to Yolita, Up, Up, and Up is a fantastic poppy song. You Only Need One, Mozart's Throne, just a dynamite record at number 13. Faulty Superheroes at number 12. Oh, it's getting exciting here, boys and girls. At number 12, it's the aforementioned Robert Pollard is off to business. And I guess the title refers to the fact that he's no longer on Merge or, messing with Matador or anything like that. He's dealing with his own business. This is the first record on Guided by Voices, Inc. And it's fantastic, man. The Blondes, Gratification to Concrete, Western Centipede, The Original Heart, Confessions of a Teenage Jerk-Off. Such a good record. And again, the song lengths are a little bit longer here, right? They're in that 4-minute mark because there's only 10 songs on here, but 10 great songs. And oh man, these records get so good after this, it's not even funny. At number 11, man, getting a little parched, getting all excited talking about these records, man. At number 11, Robert Pollard's 18th album. It's Jack Sells the Cow from 2012. Nice return to form after a couple less than stellar albums, the Bird Cages and the Space Cities of the world. Pontius Pilot Heart, one of the best little pop tracks, jangle pop you'll ever hear. Heaven is a Gated Community, Red Rubber Army. I love that track. Type at Normal Squeeze. It's a nice balanced record, got a lot of variety in it. And it's not super front-loaded like a lot of Pollard records. It's got good tracks all the way through it at number 11. Wow. Hard to believe he's got 10 albums better than that, boys and girls, but he does. He really does. And at number 10 from 2010, it's Moses on a Snail, the 14th Robert Pollard solo album. And this is apparently an album he wrote in one day. He wrote all these songs in one day. And man, most people can't even write this many good songs in a whole lifetime, man. It's incredible. It's a Pleasure Being You, Arrows and Balloons, Big Time Wrestling, Each is Good in His Own House. I love these songs. There's the Rooster. Yeah, that's Big Daddy right there. Roosters are never far from the heart and soul of Robert Pollard and the mythos of Guided by Voices and whatnot. Moses on a Snail, just incredible. At number 9, okay, here we go. It's Normal Happiness from 2006. This was the third album on Merge. Came out the same year as a double album, Robert Pollard's first double album. Record we'll talk about in a little bit, but it just shows how this guy he's written and published over 3,000 songs according to BMI, and he's got at least twice that many in scrapbooks and notebooks and cassette tapes somewhere in Dayton, Ohio. Supernatural Car Lover, A Serious Bird Woman, The Accidental Texas Who, Pegasus Glue Factory. This album's fantastic. I really enjoy this one a lot. Gasoline Ragtime, a lot of cool tracks on it. Underrated album at number 8. Possibly Pollard's most underrated album. I love this one. It's from 2009. It's technically his 12th album, and it is Elephant Jokes. This is kind of like the return of Pollard, the musician, because when Tobias is producing stuff, he does all the instrumentation, so you'd rarely hear anything out of place, right? Because he's like a real polished guy. I want to hear Pollard playing, an out-of-tune guitar and playing some scratchy weird thing that just came to his head. He does that all over this. You hear Pollard's guitar work as well as his great singing, his great songwriting. Things have changed down in Mexico City. Johnny Optimist, Jimmy, Pigeon Trapping, Hipsville, Where the Frisbees Fly. I mean, this album is fantastic. I love it. What a surprise. This album's dynamite. You need it in your life if you don't already have it. At number 7. Oh, it's the little engine that could. It's Honey, Locust, Honky Tonk from 2013. Pollard's 19th album. I think Pitchfork actually gave this the highest score that he had gotten from Pitchfork on a solo album. Gave it like a 7.4 or something like that. And rightly so. This album's dynamite. I Killed a Man Who Looks Like You. She Hides in Black. Who Buries the Undertaker. Real Fun Is No One's Monopoly. I love every song on this album. it just shows the genius of Pollard's songwriting. It has its ups and downs and its ebbs and flows, but when he's cranking, when he's on a hot streak, it's pretty scary. At number 6, we talked about a double album that he put out. Came out in 2006. Technically Pollard's 5th solo album, but really kind of sort of his first real solo album, because this came out right on the heels of Guided by Voices breaking up back then, and we didn't think we'd ever hear from him again. They went on a hiatus for like 8 years, and that's when Pollard started spitting out solo album after solo album. But his first in that time frame was From a Compound Eye, and oh man, most double albums is like, dude, especially from a guy like Pollard, you would think a double album, maybe not, but every song in here is great. Dancing Girls and Dancing Men, Love is Stronger Than Witchcraft, U.S. Mustard Company, 50-Year-Old Baby, Conqueror of the Moon, I'm a Strong Lion. Just incredible, fantastic album. From a Compound Eye at number 6. And here we go, the top 5. I talked about Pollard having these hot streaks during his career, and all 5 of these kind of occurred during this weird hot streak that he had. And I'm going start number 5 with Kid Marine from 1999, technically his 3rd solo album. The first one in this Fading Captain series that Pollard had, where he'd put all his crazy different solo projects and one-off projects and all this stuff. He's had records released under like 40 different band names. It's just insane. And Kid Marine, wow. Submarine Teams, Far Out Crop, Snatch Candy, Power Blessings, Flings of the Waste Coast Crowd, Island Crimes. Every song's an absolute winner. Kind of a heartbreaking album. It really is an emotional record. I love it. It's incredible. That's number 5. At number 4, from 2001, another good year for Pollard. He put out something called The Choreographed Man of War with Robert Pollard and the Soft Rock Renegades, who were really just Pollard, Greg Demos, and Jimmy Mack. But yeah, that's the same lineup that had done Waved Out, I think pretty much was that same trio. But anyway, this is Edison's Memos on here. I Drove the Tanks on here. 7th Level Shutdown, Instrument Beetle. Oh, I could go on and on and on. I love this thing. It's absolutely amazing. And the last one I mentioned, Instrument Beetle, is like 7 minutes long, so it's like like an epic for Pollard. Just an incredible record. At number 3, yeah, here we go. It's the aforementioned Waved Out, the 2nd solo album. It possesses a couple of my all-time favorite Robert Pollard songs, and this is when he was using his solo albums as kind of an outlet to try some different things out. Not doing that so much anymore, but Subspace Biographies might be my favorite Pollard song. Make Use is on here, Artificial Light, People Are Leaving, Steeple of Knives. Come on, man. Every track, just incredible, fantastic. But there's 2 I like even more, and at number 2, from 1999. Man, that was a good year for Pollard, because on top of that, he also put out Do the Collapse. So at number 2, it's Speak Kindly of Your Volunteer Fire Department, and this is not technically a Pollard album. This is Robert Pollard and Doug Gillard, but, Doug's a member, he's part of the team, so it counts. I guess this is mostly Pollard tracks. Gillard wrote some, but he's playing most of the instruments, and Bob's singing. And these songs, Pop Zeus is on here. Come on, man. Soul Train, College Policeman, Tight Globes, Life is Beautiful. A lot of these songs were in Guided by Voices live sets for a long time, and rightly so, man. Just incredible. So good. Amazing. I love it. But at number 1, there can only be one, and it's, from 1996. It's Not in My Air Force. This album was released on the same exact day that Tobin Sprout's debut album came out, and that kind of diluted the impact of this, and what a shame, because this stands up with any Guided by Voices album. The songwriting here is amazing. Get Under It, Psychic Pilot Clocks Out, Maggie Turns to Flies, Flat Beauty, Release the Sunbird, But what I really like about it is the song sequencing. You have all these really cool, hard charging tracks mixed in with some more psychedelic and experimental things. Then side 2 clicks in with, Psychic Pilot, and you think it's going to be kind of more of the same. And then the rest of the album is just all these weird, minute-long acoustic song snippets that are actually genius, like Meet My Team, and the album ends with Good Luck Sailor. Just amazing. I absolutely adore this album. Yeah, I sure do. And that is Pollard's signature there. Yeah, so at number 1 is Not My Air Force. Anyway, boys and girls, that's my wrap up of the Robert Pollard solo discography. I hope you enjoyed that. Join us Sunday when we're taking a look at the year 2024. We're doing a wrap up episode. It's going to be awesome. 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you then. Peace.